guys, welcome back to another video. So I am re-recording this because the amount of times that I said or like in the last time is not okay. So I'm gonna try to coast through this. Today I'm going to be discussing the Unwind book series. It's actually called the Unwind Dystology, if I'm not mistaken. Like if you look it up online, that's what will come up, and then like all the books under it. So I have the box thing here. Wait, is that the front? So that's the front, I guess. And then this is the back. I had to put tape on it because it was like messing up. And then the back. And the top, I guess. So it is a total of 4 books that make up the whole main story. And then the last book is a series of short stories. And it's stories that happened while the main thing was happening. And also some talk about things that are happening after. So I'm really happy that they did this because it ended really well. And I just think there's so much more that can be done. Obviously, I think when you start a good story, you think of ways for it to be a spin-off or for it to continue. And so I think it was really awesome that they did this. It's like, and I think it kind of mentions it in the introduction, like this is like a little bit of fan service, you know, because of how much people loved the original main story. So I'm going to go ahead and read the back of the box. I think that's it. And then maybe like a quote from the last book. But this is all I think y'all should know. It's a great intro that I think hopefully will get you intrigued and hooked and wanting to make you go and get the book. At least the first one. Give the first one a shot. And then after that, if you're not into it, it's okay. But if you are, there's plenty more to read and hopefully y'all enjoy it. Okay, so it says, after the Second Civil War, the Bill of Life states that human life may not be touched from the moment of conception until the child reaches the age of 13. However, a loophole allows parents to retroactively get rid of a teenager through a process called unwinding. 3 teens defy the system and run away to avoid being unwound. Connor, a rebel whose parents have ordered his unwinding, Risa, a ward of the state who is to be unwound due to cost cutting, and Lev, his parents' 10th child, whose unwinding has been planned since birth as a religious tithing. As their paths intersect and lives hang in the balance, Connor, Risa, and Lev have to work together to survive. So it is pretty dark. I think like the premise of it is pretty dark and the things that they go through, man. But it is a young adult like series. And I actually saw, I don't know in what state or if it was like that district, but this books were actually banned, which, man, like I understand because of how controversial like the topic in itself is, but I wish like if it was like the parents or someone, that I wish that they would have picked up the book and read it, because the way that it's told and the way that it just follows the characters, and it's so good. I don't want to hype it up, but it's so good. And I think regardless of what side of the, you know, controversial issue you are on, you appreciate the story for what it is. The idea of unwinding, I'll at least tell y'all this. It came about because, you know, obviously pro-choicers, pro-lifers couldn't get on the same page. So a war broke out, right? And technology was able to like make this happen. And what was one person in particular who made this come about? And the idea was that you can't touch like an unborn child, like even like in a fetus state, right? So you let them live. But up until the age of 13, either they've been able to prove themselves that they're well behaved and that they're good, or you already see that they're just troublemakers and they're not making right decisions. And I'm like, oh my God, like at 13, who knows what they're doing? Nobody. But anyways, so by that time, parents have the option to decide to unwind the child from ages 13 to 18. And if you live up to the expectations of everyone, you know, if you're a good kid or whatever, then you stay as you are. But if you are sent to be unwound, then the idea is that you are able to help people who are in need of it. Like if they can divide every part of your body and it can be used. Your brain, your arms, your legs, every organ, literally everything can be given to someone who had an accident, who's dealing through an illness, who's about to die. Like, it'll go towards saving them. And in that way, you never die and you just live on in a divided state. And so it's insane to think that that's even like a possibility. But when you think about it, they really saw it as a compromise, like in that moment in time. And they rather have that compromise and continue to go on with the war. And I was just like, oh my God. And then each chapter, I don't know if it's in all the books, but I think it is. At the beginning of each chapter, there's like an article or like a real life short story or like something, but they're usually articles of things that are actually going on or that have occurred, whether it's like overseas or even here with like advancement in technology, regarding that stuff, whether it's organ harvesting in the black market. Yeah, it's crazy. So it makes it even creepier because obviously the story is fiction, but he's throwing in those snippets of reality, and it makes you just think even more like, oh crap. So yeah, I'm gonna read like the quote that I liked from the last book. It says, this sounds so dark now that I read it, but when I was going through it, I was like, oh, that sounds so good. But it just says, do not give into the urge to extinguish oneself in the waters of the world, but instead be a light above those waters to help guide the way. I don't know, I thought it was pretty cool, even though yeah, I think it's more hopeful than it is dark. At least I hope people see it that way. Okay, so I'm just gonna go through each book and show y'all the cover. I'm not gonna read the back of each book. I think hopefully that was enough for it to get y'all's attention. But this is the first book. It's called Unwind. And notice how that book is glossy and like, you know, just like a regular paperback. And this one's called Unholy. And this one is like smooth and like matte, but it's like too smooth. It almost feels like how that looks, like the leather bound. This one is called Unsold. And then this one's like a regular like paperback as well, but it's not glossy, but it's also not super soft like the last one. This one is called Undivided. This is the last book. And then this also has a smoothness, but it doesn't feel like the other two smooth ones either. The last one, well, this is the short stories, is called Unbound. And like, I was just noticing, I'm like, man, they each feel different. And I think like that's a nice touch. So they have the hardcovers, and so when I ordered them on Amazon, they had the picture of the hardcover, but I ended up getting these. And I was like, man, are they hardcover or are those other ones paperback too? But they look so cool because so you put one on top and then the 4 books under it, like spread out, and it makes one whole image. And I'm not sure what character it is, but I have an idea of who it is, and like it looks so beautiful. I'll try to insert a picture of it here, but yeah, I would definitely like to get that. But when I saw it, the price of it like in other places, I was like, excuse me. No. So I'll have to see like how and when I can get my hands on it. I don't know, I just really recommend that y'all check it out. And if you do, oh my gosh, please let me know what you think. Did you like it? Did you cry? Man, there was one point when I cried, and it was for someone that drove me insane the whole time that they were there. So if you cried, let me know if you cried. um yeah, if you have any questions about the book, just let me know. Anything regarding this series, definitely something I would reread again as well. So that's how you know I liked it, if I'm willing to reread it again. And I almost forgot. They're trying to make this into a TV series. I think they were working on a movie, but it fell through. But Netflix, Hulu, someone pick it up because I really want to see this. So, but yeah, thanks for watching. Remember that you are loved, and I hope y'all have a blessed day. Bye.